Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Adam Gollins, back here bringing you the first ever team builder for LBC Season 6. We missed out on the first couple of weeks because I wasn't really familiar with OBS, but now that I'm more familiar with OBS, I'm bringing you some team builders. This is our Week 3 team builder, although it isn't really a standard team builder per se, but because, well, it's after the match, or after the match has already went up on YouTube. I'm just gonna go through my team and just give a post commentary of the match. So, yeah. Their team consisted of Haxorus, Corviknight, Shaman, Incineroar, Hitmonchan, Megadeoncy, Masquerain, Swampert, Toxtricity, Fortress, and Zoroark. I was really afraid of Hitmonchan and Corviknight. Shaman and Incineroar also kinda. Megadeoncy was another standout threat. But other than that, I wasn't really afraid of what they were bringing. So to help alleviate the Haxorus problem, I brought Aromatisse, Kevia Berry with Aromaville, Wish Protect, Moonblast Toxic. I had EVs with a +5 Poison Jab from Haxorus and a +6 Poison Jab was a roll to kill Aromatisse. But yeah, I had Force Spadef for Megadeoncy to ensure the Moonblast were going to be a 4-hit KO or a 3-hit KO. I wasn't sure. It's been a while since I built this team. But yeah, that's the general idea of Aromatisse. Wish Protect. Wish just generalized team support and recovery. Toxic to toxic things like the Swampert and maybe the Shaman too. And I had the special attack investment to Oko and uninvested Haxorus guaranteed. Mew had the leftovers. You had leftovers with Scorching Sands, Volt Switch, T-Wave, Roost. Scorching Sands I had to take on Toxtricity and Megadeoncy and also Incineroar somewhat. And Volt Switch there just for generalized pivoting. T-Wave to paralyze things like the Haxorus, like the Corviknight, like the Incineroar even. And yeah, maybe the Zoroark too. Roost for generalized recovery. I had 172 special attack to Oko, Toxtricity, and 2-hit KO Megadeoncy. I forget what I had the defensive investment on. I think 8 Spadef was there to make sure Megadeoncy couldn't 2-shot me with Moonblast. I forget what I had the 80 defense investment on there for. Like I said, it's been a while since I built this team. Our third member was Cinderace. I had 184 speed investment to outpace a max speed Megadeoncy, heavy duty boots with Libero. I had boots plus court change for the possibility of hazard stacking with Masquerain and Fortress. They didn't end up. They didn't end up bringing it, but Cinderace still put in a decent amount of work with Iron Head and Pyro Ball. Iron Head plus Pyro Ball can hit pretty much every single one on their team except the Swampert. And I had other things to deal with the Swampert. Moving on to our next mon, we brought Surfetch. Surfetch, Choice Band Close Combat hits so hard. There is no switch into this. Close Combat, Weak Blade, First Impression Knockoff. Weak Blade was there for Swampert. First Impression was there for the potentiality of a D-Dance Haxorus or a Shift Gear Toxtricity. Knockoff was there just to remove items all around, like with Swampert with leftovers, even though I wouldn't really use it. I had 24 speed investment to outpace a base speed Corviknight. I dumped the rest in HP and 252 adamant in attack. It's just kind of mandatory. This thing hits so hard, and if you've seen the match, you have already seen it. Put in the work, or you will see it here in a few minutes. Nidoking was next. Scarf Sheer Force with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, Fire Blast. I noticed that Nidoking kind of went in on their team, and I just not really wanting to risk this thing getting outpaced by Megadeoncy and me not having any other answers for it. I put Choice Scarf on there, but Nidoking just kind of went in against Ranger. Like, it was so good. And another Pokemon that looks so good, well, kinda, was my last Pokemon, Mega Gyarados. Sub-D-Dance Gyarados could, I think it won at +2 if I got chip damage on Corvin, Swampert, and Fortress. They're more defensive lines. But D-Dance, Waterfall Crunch, Sub, it took care of everything. It hit everything super hard. 216 speed was there to outpace a max speed Hitmonchan. Same thing with Nidoking, I think. But 252 attack with 40 HP. Just generic EV dumping there. And anyways, I'm going to pause the recording right here, and I'm going to cut to the match. See you there. Alright, we are back once again. Here is the match. So, well, let me just... I know, very professional of me. They brought Mega Deontay, Toxtricity, Swampert, Incineroar, Fortress, and Hitmonchan. I was very, very surprised they did not bring Haxorus or Corviknight, but I'm not complaining either. So they lead out with Swampert. I let out with Surfetch because it just hits everything so hard. Let me redo this turn. But I went off with Surfetch. It hits everything so hard, and I knew if they led Swampert, they would have to make a hard read. So going into this turn, I was really going to Leaf Blade turn 1, but I decided, you know what, that's probably going to be too obvious, and plus Close Combat's just the better play overall. So I quit Close Combat turn 1, and they end up swapping to Incineroar. I OHKO it on the switch in, and yeah, good start for me. Surfetch picks up his first kill of the season, I think. So they go out into Mega Deontay. I switch out of Surfetch and go into Mew. I know Mew can take a hit here and won't get 2-shot unless if they crit me. They decide to go for Sub, probably predicting the Mew switch in. So anyways, desperately trying to break the Sub, I go for Scorching Sands, and you see I take the Moonblast. Go for Scorching Sands there, and I decide to quick Roost here as they swap into Fortress. Roost just giving me Generalized Recovery. A Volt Switch out, back into Surfetch. I probably should have went Nidoking there in hindsight, but it doesn't really matter. Surfetch chunks this thing, does half its health, and I decide to switch back into Mew. I'm trying to get Nidoking in here for free, if I can. T-Wave this thing, and it gets paralyzed first turn, which is nice and unfortunate. Alright, anyways, Volt Switch out, going to Nidoking, and here I just quick Fire Blast, and it veers wide to the right. Greninja, or wide to the left. Greninja vibes intensify. Go for the Fire Blast again, and I hit it, knocking out the Fortress, and they go back into Mega Deontay while we scouting for the Scarf. I go back into Mew again. This is my dedicated answer to this. They Moonblast once again, and I go for Scorching Sands, breaking the thing Sub. And here they swap out into Swampert. Sands again, likely expecting an... right here I went for Scorching Sands again, expecting them to sub on the Roost, because I made that play before, but they didn't go for that play. They just went out into Swampert. And you see here that chip damage allowed me to go Surfetch. Surfetch took the hit with ease, and then it bopped Swampert back with a Close Combat. So 6-3 lead for me, looking very good. I swap out into Aromatisse. Aromatisse gets hit with a Fake Out. Right here, I could have doubled into Nidoking, but I didn't. But it didn't really matter, because this is going to be the best 1v1 you ever see. Aromatisse tanks the Boom Burst and fires off a Moonblast. Right here, I know Aromatisse doesn't matter because Banded Surfetch can come in and kill with First Impression, but Aromatisse came out of the 1v1 alive. I'm not sure if Drain Punch was a misquick, but I was playing to sack Aromatisse at that point, and because Surfetch came in and killed it anyways. So, they send out Mega Deontay here, and I decide to start preserving Differential as I go into Mew. They sub again, and I'm going to Sands again. I want to go Scorching Sands. Yep, there, and they go for the kill on Mew. So we're still in a commanding position here. I go Cinderace and click Iron Head because I really had nothing much else to do. And Hitmonchan comes out, fakes us out, and they're going to go for Mach Punches. We go for the Pyro Ball. At this point, I'm not worried about losing this in the slightest. I go into Mega Gyarados on their Mach Punch, and I win the game with Waterfall. So that was a bit of the commentary, a bit of my thought process for these moves. We win the game 5-0, bringing us to 1-2, +2 on the season. And after this game, I made transactions to my team. So you're gonna see those you're probably gonna see those in the next couple of weeks. Well, anyways, that was me. I'm gone. See you guys in the next video. Peace.